You're not broke because you don't make enough. You're broke because your habits keep draining you. And I know that's not what most people want to hear. Because it's easier to blame your income. It's easier to say, if I just had more money, my problems would disappear. But be honest for a second. Have you ever had a little extra money? And somehow, it still disappeared? You told yourself you'd save it this time. You said, this is different. But then something came up. Or you wanted something. Or you felt like you deserved something. And just like that, it was gone. That's not an income problem. That's a habit problem. Because money doesn't just disappear. It moves. And most of the time, it moves because of decisions that feel small in the moment. A quick purchase. A late night order. A random why not. You don't think twice about it. But those small decisions? They stack. Every single day. $5 here. $10 there. $20 you didn't plan to spend. It doesn't feel dangerous. It feels normal. That's the trap. Because what feels normal is often what's keeping you stuck. You wake up. You go through your day. You spend without really thinking. And then at the end of the week, or the end of the month, you look at your bank account and think, where did all my money go? But the truth is, you already know. Deep down, you know. It went to convenience. It went to comfort. It went to habits you never questioned. Your money didn't disappear. It leaked. Slowly. Quietly. Consistently. And leaks are dangerous. Not because they're big, but because they never stop. Think about a small hole in a bucket. One drop? Nothing. But over time? The entire bucket empties. That's your money. And here's where most people get it wrong. They try to fix the problem by making more money. They think income is the answer. But if your habits stay the same, more money just means bigger leaks. You don't fix a leaking bucket by pouring more water into it. You fix the hole. And your habits? That's the hole. Right now, your system probably looks like this. You get paid. You feel relief. Maybe even excitement. You tell yourself, okay, this time I'm going to do better. But then life happens. Bills come in. You go out. You order food. You buy something small. And then something else. And something else. Before you even realize it, you're back where you started. Waiting for the next paycheck. That cycle? That's not random. That's a system. And the problem is, it's a system designed to keep you broke. Because you spend first. And save what's left. But there's almost never anything left. Now compare that to how financially disciplined people think. They don't trust what's left. They control what's kept. They get paid. And the first thing they do is pay themselves. Not last. First. Even if it's small. Even if it feels insignificant. Even if it's just $1. Because it's not about the amount. It's about the habit. When you pay yourself first, you're sending a message. Not to anyone else, but to yourself. You're saying, my future matters. My stability matters. I matter. And that changes how you behave. Now instead of asking, what can I buy? You start asking, what should I keep? That one shift can completely change your life. But let's be real. It's not easy. Because spending is emotional. Very emotional. You don't just spend money. You spend to feel something. You spend when you're bored. You spend when you're stressed. You spend when you're tired. You spend when you want to reward yourself. And in that moment, it feels good. That's why it's hard to stop. Because you're not just fighting a habit. You're fighting a feeling. And feelings are powerful. That's why awareness is your first weapon. For the next week, track everything. Every dollar. No excuses. Not to shame yourself. Not to feel guilty. But to see the truth. Because clarity creates control. And once you see the pattern, you can start to break it. Then you add friction. You don't rely on willpower. You make bad decisions harder. Delete saved cards. Unsubscribe from emails. Wait 24 hours before buying anything you don't need. That pause? That space? It kills impulse. And impulse is what drains your money the most. Then you build a simple system. Not complicated. Not overwhelming. Simple. Every time money comes in, a portion goes out of reach immediately. Savings. No debate. No delay. And what's left? That's what you live on. Now here's what's interesting. At first, it feels restrictive. Like you're limiting yourself. But over time, it feels freeing. Because now, you're in control. You're not guessing anymore. You're not hoping anymore. You're deciding. And that's powerful. Because being broke isn't just about money. It's about uncertainty. It's about stress. It's about feeling like you're always behind. And when you fix your habits, you fix that feeling. Slowly. But surely. You start to notice something. Your money lasts longer. You stop panicking as much. You start thinking ahead. And for the first time, you feel stable. Not rich, but stable. And stability is where everything begins. Because once you're stable, you can grow. But you can't grow if you're constantly starting over. So stop focusing only on making more. Start focusing on keeping more. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. And the moment you fix your habits is the moment everything starts to change. Not overnight, but permanently. Because habits don't just change your money. They change your identity. You stop being someone who struggles with money and become someone who controls it. And once that happens, being broke isn't permanent anymore. It's just something you used to be. So start today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Start now. Even if it's just $1. Because small actions, repeated daily, create big results. And one day, you'll look back and realize you were never stuck. You just needed a better system.